After the video, be sure to check out my graphic novel, Video, now available for sale at the MF Steve Here shop on Etsy. The link is in the description. Hey friendo, Steve here. So I went to go see Deadpool last night. I went to the 8:30 screening. I got some popcorn, I got some Butterfingers, and I got a giant Pepsi. It was a packed theater. Apparently Deadpool's breaking all sorts of great records on Thursdays. And that's awesome. That's really cool for it. I hope it exceeds expectations quite a bit because I really want to see another Deadpool movie and an X-Force movie down the line. I want to see Cable. I want to see Bishop. I want to see all those guys that showed up sort of in the X-Force Rob Liefeld era of the whole X-Men franchise. And speaking of Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool, or the co-creator of Deadpool, he got a lot of shine in this movie. It was great. You can see little Easter eggs like in the beginning opening credit sequence, which was hilarious. There was like a little coffee cup floating by that said Rob L on it. He actually had a cameo in the flick. So that was a lot of fun to see Rob in the movie, and obviously them paying so much respect to the guy who created Deadpool. So that was really cool. I'll tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like, and my overall impression of the movie. I'll tell you that first. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was a very clever movie. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of potential, and they even make jokes about the fact that, they want to make this into a franchise, into a whole thing. And I love that it's set in the middle of the X-Men universe, which really needs right now something interesting going on, because I look at the trailers for X-Men Apocalypse, I'm just not into it. It's just so loud and noisy, and there's so much crappy green screen going on, and I just don't have a good feeling about it. Hugh Jackman's going to be leaving as the Wolverine, or so he says, and so that's like one great thing about the franchise. It's going to be gone. So I'm glad that there's something good in the X-Men universe that they'll have to maybe anchor themselves to. Because I think Deadpool is supposed to be sort of a comedic side sort of tangent movie. But I hope that they really incorporate him into the X-Men universe. I'd love to see him, infiltrate like the next X-Men movie. And I just think that'd be a lot of fun for everybody. So overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. The things that I liked about it specifically, I loved his... I liked Ryan Reynolds. I thought he was good. I thought he was a very good Deadpool. Everybody on Twitter right now is blowing it up, saying, "Oh my God, you're the greatest. You're perfect for this role. Thank you so much." Blah blah blah. I really love the fact that this seemed to really be a passion project. There seemed to be a lot of creative juices flowing. They're not just doing the rounds. Every little frame, every little line matters, and that's what I really love about the movie. And none of it would be possible without Ryan Reynolds. So we all have him to thank for that. And it's funny because it's not just like a passion project for him, but it's also a very shrewd business move, because bringing a character that is so popular, but that 20th Century Fox probably had no plans for in the first place, is a really, really smart business move. So to maneuver this the way he has been absolutely perfect in terms of a business sense and in terms of giving the fans what they want, because this is also a very fan-servicing movie. So all that stuff's really good. A couple of things that I sort of didn't like too much about the movie was the fact that it was, and I'm not sure how you get around this really, but the origin story itself kind of bogged down the movie in general. I thought that the whole setup of him, I mean, there's not a whole lot of spoilers you can do with the movie, because the trailers spoil that, he's sick, he's going in to try to get treatment because he has cancer. And that's sort of how he gets his powers. But that whole setup was kind of muddy to me. They milk it for whatever laughs they can, but I thought that they strayed too much into some like serious, we're gonna torture you for some reason in order to bring out your mutant genes. That I don't think that was necessary. You could have gone about your origin story in a bit... It sped it up a little bit, didn't go into it so heavy-handed, but it's the nature of the beast. This is his first movie. You have to have an origin story, so you can't really do anything about that. I just thought that particular aspect of it could have maybe been a bit more entertaining. Other things I loved about it was Colossus and Teenage Negasonic Warhead. I thought they were perfect sidekicks, foils, whatever you want to call them, for Deadpool. Especially Colossus. I think he was absolutely hilarious. I thought Negasonic Teenage Warhead, or whatever her name is, I thought she was a bit underused. I thought that there was a lot more they could have done with her, and hopefully they'll bring her back for the next one. I thought the chemistry between him and his girlfriend in the movie were really, really good. I forget her name. I feel bad about that. I have my computer right here, but I'm watching my baby on the monitor thing, so I'm not going to look her up. But she was good. She's hot. She gets naked. He gets naked at one point. He fights naked and he gets his little dinkus. So yeah, those are all the things that I sort of liked about it. Ryan Reynolds, I thought he was fine. I thought he did a good job as Deadpool. I'm sort of two minds of this because I'm not a huge fan of his in the first place. I'll just get that out there. I'm sure he's a great guy, and all the interviews I've seen, he seems wonderful. And this does seem like a passion project. We wouldn't have had this without him, so that goes without saying. So he deserves to play Deadpool, and he was a fine mainstream. This is what we expect Deadpool, which is kind of what I have an issue with. And this is like me and Larson did a video. You guys might know that we did a video a year ago. It was like top 5 reasons why he shouldn't play Deadpool, and our main point of that was saying there are more interesting choices out there instead of the obvious one, and we kind of wish that they would have gone with something a bit more edgy, a bit darker. I think one of my things is he's got good comedic timing. Sometimes he has great comedic timing. Most of the time, his face is covered by the mask. And there are certain actors out there, and TJ Miller, I mean, besides the fact that he's in the movie, he stands out to me as somebody whose voice, Jonah Hill, obviously he's not going to play Deadpool. They stand out to me as guys whose voices, just the way they say things, it's naturally funny. It like just the way they talk is hilarious. And I think that this could have used something more like that to up the laugh quotient, because I laughed. There was a couple times when I really belly laughed. But again, just like I saw with the trailers, my personal favorite moments of the movie were his interactions with TJ Miller, because I think TJ Miller is hilarious. And he's obviously very gifted at improv. So I thought that an aspect of improv of something like that could have been added, because regardless, the whole movie did have a scripted feel to it, which is totally fine. But sometimes you get the best moments when they're improvised. And I felt like maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, I'm just brainstorming here, because this is a fucking review and I'm not going to blow smoke up its ass. Everybody on Twitter is blowing this thing up, and that's great. I think its enthusiasm is fantastic. But I think sometimes people find a reason just to completely blow something up when you can sit back and take a look at it and say, hey, you know what? What maybe could have been done better? So that's what I like to do. And I know people are like, fuck you, Steve. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. You don't fuck you're talking about. Fair enough. Maybe you're right. So anyways, I don't know. I understand. I totally get that he is the reason this movie was made, and it was really entertaining. I had a lot of fun. But in like a separate universe, if he was like not an actor and just a producer, and he hired somebody else to be Deadpool, that maybe is the universe that Steve is probably was more entertained by Deadpool, if they got somebody else. But he was fine. He was totally cool. And yeah. So, thumbs up. You should go check it out. Don't take your kids. There's titties in this thing. There's sex in it, like all sorts of sex in it. There's dingus in it. There's obviously a lot of violence in it, which is fine. But yeah, I guess my only other gripe about the movie was sometimes the action scenes felt a bit too much. Like, especially sort of the final action scene. It just went on a bit too long. Oh, Gina Carano's in it too, and she's great. But the action scenes went on a little too long, and the main villain didn't have a whole lot of dimension to him. And maybe that was intentional, because usually main villains don't, but there was nothing ironic about him. There was nothing tongue-in-cheek about him, and it would have been nice to see a bit more interplay between Deadpool and the main villain. Maybe if they had some better chemistry, that could have been a more entertaining aspect of the movie as well. But all in all, it was a fun experience. You guys should go definitely check it out. So yeah, there's my review. Feel free to tell me that I'm an asshole in the comments. I'm used to it. I've been doing this for a long time. So anyways, until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.